All right, welcome back, folks. We are here at the MLG Arena in Columbus, Ohio, finishing out CEVO's Pro League Season 8. Last semifinal, last map of the semifinal, all comes down to cash. Mousesports taking on Conquest.
That's the title of Duncan's autobiography, as it happens. It
all
comes down to cash.
6 Skrilla.
Indeed. Well, look, so we've got a bit of previous here, haven't we? Because we obviously know that Conquest can play this map.
Yes.
North American teams have always traditionally done well on it. It's hard to think of a North American team that at some point hasn't favored cash heavily in the map pool. Even when Cloud9 were, a dominant force, which feels like another lifetime now, even though it wasn't all that long ago. That was one of their pocket picks. They would very often go to cash. I mean, it wouldn't always win it, but it would always be super competitive. So it was embraced by the NA scene kind of before it sort of disseminated down and came into the European scene. So the idea that these guys aren't going to be competitive on this map would be nonsensical, frankly. In terms of Mousesports, I've said I think they could be very, very good on this map. It's a map that Chris J's always done well on traditionally. It sort of plays to his strengths, is that aggressive AWPer, and having a team that's willing to sort of boost him in that mid area and play infantry picks and stuff. So I think this will be a super competitive game. I still got to give the edge to Mousesports, but this is going to be close. This is going to be edge of the seat stuff.
We see you have a poll up, and again, it's shifted a little bit
just
to the Mousesports' favor.
I mean, you've got to give credit to the Conquest guys in as much as, okay, the map they lost wasn't close as in they weren't in the game to win it, but they got rounds. They've shown us time and time again on almost all the maps they've played in the tournament, they're getting rounds. So I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I do think Mousesports should control C-side, and I think as a result, this should be a good win for Mouse. But I mean, the way it's going at the moment, hey, maybe Conquest can get the double digits.
Now, and again, to bring up your point, Richard, this is the final map of last night's matchup, didn't it?
Yeah, against Dignitas.
16-13 was the final, I think. So the question begs, was Mousesports awake? Did they take this match for granted? Did they watch that match either today or last night?
Look, what you got to remember is Cash has obviously come out in the randometer. So the idea that Mousesports would have been preparing for Cash, when you have a random pick element to it, obviously you don't know if it's going to come out or not. All they know is that there's a slim chance it might. They've controlled the veto. Let's be real. I think Mousesports had the veto they wanted. They got them on overpass. Yep. They blew what should have been a 2-0 at that juncture. They played them on Inferno, right? Took their map. I mean, this was as good a veto as Mousesports could have hoped for, really. Maybe, I don't even know what you want to throw in as a third map instead of Cash in their favor, with the way the bans went. So, did they stay up and prepare for this? Actually, probably not. Yeah. Because you don't, it's got this tiny little margin of,
the possibility.
Possibility that it's going to come in. And plus, Mousesports have enough in the locker to be good on Cash anyway.
Any change in your prediction? I'll give you one last shot to become North American fans, gentlemen.
This is the right
more time.
This is the right map for Mousesports. No one's defecting Scoots.
Mousesports
is going to win.
It ain't the Cold War now, bro.
It's going to be an all-European final, like the tradition at these CEVO lands that have been at Scoots. And I think Nico's going to return after going a bit MIA on overpass.
All right.
And they'll win the game.
I mean, this is a map that plays to the strengths of the hard hitters for Mousesports. Nico especially is going to be able to do work on this. Chris J is going to do work on it. Nex has had some ridiculous performances on it in the past, the previous land. So I just think there's no need to change it. This is Mousesports. It's going to be like 16-10, something like that.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Jackasses. All right, we're going to do it. Last map is Cash. Do or die time. Who's going to play Virtus Pro? Helium and Launders.
EU over NA confirmed.
Take it away.
Oh, you got us laughing up here. All right, here we go. Into Cash. The NA proving grounds, if you will, as Launders will just correct me and say Canada. As three members here repping the Canadian flag inside the game is Conquest. And Mousesports, of course, from Germany, traveling here. And first map they've dropped to Conquest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did. I mean, they did lose that map in the last 3 months. Mousesports have won this map 8 times, lost at 7, all to very good teams. Conquest, we saw them take the series yesterday, starting out here on the T side, I think, once again. And it won't be easy. Chris J actually getting so much info. No one was spotting this. He could just sit in Sunroom, control rotations. They can go and stack A if they want to. And just play a fast rotate B. The thing is that Conquest have also gotten mid control, so it might not matter, but he will be afforded a couple of lurk frags if it is the case that they decide to go B. And look at this.
Wow, Dennis.
The push denied.
So aggressive.
But this might make you forget that other parts of the map might be pushed. Chris J is still in a very, very strong position, and 2 players going over towards B. interesting rotations. But this is why mid-control is so important.
Well, they will be coming through the vents. Rush, it looks like he might be taking point again. Chris J starts it off with the first kill. There's Daps, though, answering back. Chris J missing some there and taken out from Stanislaw. So Chris J in Sunroom, he's down. God B now, he was the pistol god on Inferno, and here it comes again. He grabs 2 headshots, denying the cross. It's Shazam and Stan versus 3 right now. Remember, Dennis took that 90 damage very early on in the round. He's holding out to the left here. Stanislaw going to switch that weapon. We'll have to reload it as well, only with 6 bullets.
I think they know Gobbis, or I guess Dennis. Wow, too quick on the trigger. Oh my goodness.
Headshot anyway. HP wouldn't have mattered. 2 versus 2. Oh no, he crashed. Monitor went black right there, so I don't even think Dennis was able to fight back.
I don't know if he was talking about Dennis.
Yeah, good point. And now it's Stan wedged in here. Nico, I think, knows where he is. He's just got to hit that shot. Stan going to keep mobile, but Nico moving in too fast. Shazam in the sight, gets the 1, turns, and finds the second kill onto Nico. Conquest taking the round, but maybe an asterisk on it as some technical problems here for Mousesports.
Not sure what problem had occurred, but wow, that 1v2. I thought it was just going to be, you know, the round over. Shazam left on the site with such low HP. Bound to lose it anyway, but Conquest still managed to grab it. And I think Dennis peaked, and then Stanislaw just ripped him when he went to get the bomb.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the case?
I think so. I'm not sure who they were talking about. Maybe they'll clarify. I'm sure someone will get to the bottom of it.
Yeah. Obviously want to keep it fair and competitive. It's going to be a good game either way, but that was almost a really nice hold. God B getting those 2 frags, the bomb down. But Stanislaw, man, that second shot, yeah, I'm pretty sure Dennis just peeked and Stanislaw just absolutely ripped him. And also Chris J from Sunroom, as he peeked the left side, ran over to the right side, completely got pre-fired. Just totally anticipating Chris to peek that side. He had absolutely no idea what was about to hit him.
So we're paused up on Cashier, which, again, is going to be a decent map for Conquest. Last night, they faced a high-pressure situation on it. It was the map 3 in their series versus Dignitas, and they ended up taking it 16-13, right?
Yeah.
So they've dealt with the pressure on this map before. They've started out somewhat strong. Unfortunately, it has gone right into a pause. And we can see the money is, you know, pretty low as it normally is. Will they go for the force buy? Will they just upgrade the pistols on the side of Mousesports?
Cobb says something in German.
You want me to
okay,
translate?
we're going to translate.
I'll try my best. Live translations.
Helium is our Google Translate.
Too many big words.
Too many big words. I can read them. Ertrung, Aufgrund, Sein hier, Verhig Kitan, als. Maybe your chat
You're
will
really
be able
reading
to
this? You're not reading it
transcribe
very well.
Hey, you read it.
Trug aufgrund seiner Fähigkeiten als
Show off.
Vorrangspieler den Spitznamen der Boss. Something about an early fragger, his nickname I think is the Boss. I don't know quite what he's talking about, but
Put that with the hyphens.
Trug is to carry, I think. So like he's carrying his I don't know what Fähigkeiten is, but anyways, hopefully it's nothing bad because we've said it a couple times on stream now.
Mm-hmm.
But still paused up for the time being. Trying to figure out what exactly is going on. I mean, not too much has happened so far, right? Just some nice
the only
pistol
thing
work.
I'm trying to draw.
Gaba B again had 2 really nice shots to highlight for him.
Yeah.
He was huge on Inferno with the pistol kills.
He's definitely playing extremely well.
And he had a really bad map on Overpass in terms of fragging.
Yeah.
So to start off strong was pretty nice. And I think we've got some stats coming up for the man on your screen there. That's Rush.
Yeah.
Stan to his left.
The man who got all the clutch rounds yesterday, a lot of entries there on Overpass in the key rounds today, and I think has played outstanding in this tournament.
Hopefully we get those Rush stats up. And not like there's much to say, but some headphones off here, so.
Yeah, I think first kill is really important. His HSP is going to be way up there. And I think there will be something to say about clutch kills as well.
I mean, I could probably beat them to the punch. I've got the technology right now. We've got Rush so far.
Yeah, 93 ADR and
that's just it's the LAN bracket stage, which is just this series so far. So these are his stats just in this match.
Just in the series.
Yeah. So I mean, to have 93.4 ADR. Plus 11 on the KD and 13 efficacy. That's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely doing his part. still blows my mind time and time again how much impact Stanislaw actually has. But yeah, what was interesting was like Shazam picking up the op on overpass wasn't doing so great. When he was rifling, he was getting so many kills. He actually probably got the most entries on the B site on overpass. Man, remember that round they threw that bad smoke? Like how did that happen? That you're talking about how small that tunnel was.
Oh, you're talking on overpass?
Yeah, that one round.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's the one they threw, because we saw the one smoke come out from Conquest where they lined it up off the sewer grate and spawn, tossed it over, and it did monster, bouncing off the train tracks. You can throw another one very easily, but it doesn't bounce off anything. It just kind of lands and slides into the short drain.
That one lands on the T side
of
monster.
Yeah. That one. But they threw it. There's another one you throw that lands on the construction side.
No, they got the.
On short
I'm talking about the short. I'm talking about short when they threw that bad smoke.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying you line it up the same way, and you just turn, your crosshair to the right, throw it, and they were just off lining it up.
Oh, I think we got Luminosity in the crowd, making an appearance.
There you go.
Joining the side of
Still
Conquest.
getting a lot of support here in North America, so that's very nice to see.
Canada.
Will you get off? Canada here, all right. You didn't even bring any maple syrup with you or anything like that,
No, I'll pour it out if we lose.
Dropping a 40 of maple syrup on the ground here if Conquest get to the finals. Well, guys, it looks like we're having a prolonged technical issue right now, and I'm sure the players are thinking, hey, the monitor went out, what's going to happen, what's in the rules? Well, they're going to get that squared away. Unfortunately, with the delay, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and when we get back, hopefully we'll be able to resume here on round 2 of the third map, the decisive map between Conquest and Mousesports. So stay tuned here. Welcome back, everybody. A bit of a problem starting in the first map there of Cash, but to let everybody know, we have agreed, since it was a hardware fault, both teams had agreement to restart here, so we go back into round 1, seeing a second pistol. What will happen here? Launders.
Yeah, it looks like there won't be the ability for Mouse to get away with a push. Oh, wow, what a clean shot from Nex. And a second and a third. No trades coming out.
Wow. So Nex's monitor is working. Stanislaw now trying to pick up the pieces here. He's at half HP. He's got that Molotov. Chris J takes down Rush. So now Stan completely alone, and it's looking like it will be a flawless round from Mousesports. The headshots don't lie. So it looks like Mousesports taking the first round now.
Huge round from Nex as
4K.
Conquest took mid-control once again, but instead of taking it a little bit more slowly and waiting to cause some rotations, they decided to push through into CT spawn next. However, the man waiting said, "You shall not pass." Took 3 down really quickly, and now Mousesports take the first pistol. Conquest moving in the second round with a couple of head armor buys, which is really interesting. Like, not everyone spending their money, not most people spending their money, just kind of like a half and half, and not even with like that many nades. This is kind of weird. Like, Rush and Nafly have armor. I guess it's because you want to send them in first. Hopefully they get their entries. If not, everyone dies.
All right. Conquest trying to fly in. Dennis, though, just spraying down, knowing where that squeaky door is, even through the smoke. Finds one, but Rush shooting into highway with that P250. Takes out Dennis, so 1 for 1 thus far. Nades going in, keeping Conquest from taking the site. Naf with that armor is low, but still finds a headshot. He goes up over the red box. Brings down Nex. Nico and now Gabi moving in with that UMP, finds a frag rush, and Daps left on very, very low HP. They have planted the bomb here, and that's very, very big for Conquest moving forward. Mousesports, no problem closing out this round as the bomb's already been defused. And Daps still alive. Can he cause some more damage? No one's even going to push. No reason to kill him. He just has a P250. But the bomb went down. Some armor was bought. It looks like Conquest will maybe find themselves with armor pistol one more time at least.
Yeah, they did what they wanted to do on that round. I think they were planning to hopefully win it, but because everyone spent their money, they won't be able to buy up here completely. Instead, we'll go for another kind of half armor buy. This time, Stanislaw and Daps buying the armor. So that is kind of interesting. You know, if you plan to save the 2 rounds, maybe one round 2 people buy armor, maybe the other round 2 other people buy armor. It's an interesting way to look at the economy.
Nice taps there from Dennis. Chris taking down 1 and then a second. And we see Dennis's 2 kills in the middle. So that's Daps all alone with the Deagle. He's the one guy that went in for the armor also. It's going to be tough for him. He'd like to put somebody down. But nope, P90 will have none of that. Next, close, hanging on with 3 HP. But a flawless round for Mousesports. That's going to build up your economy going into the first rifle.
Yep. And Conquest here will be looking to buy up. Shazam is the only man who didn't buy armor in the first 2 rounds because he wanted to be able to afford it up. We all have our vices as one of his. So definitely has had really high impact on T side of like any of the players of the tournament on T side opping. I mean, it's been really a T-sided affair in some situations, and Nico here over at A is boosted up. I think is the man to kind of spot everything. Not soloing A in a sense though. Where's our 5th man? Actually, oh sorry, excuse me. He is accompanied.
So Dennis was harder to spot there on the minimap, but also on the A site, and another man at the truck. That's going to be next. Gob B holding on to the Z connector, and Chris J is that solo man with an M4A1S for now on the side of Mousesports. Shazam looking over the boost, but finding nobody. Gob B with the passive setup there, and he's actually just gone over to the B site. So mid is open for the taking here in the mid round if Conquest were to want it. They're still spread out. You got Nafly working in the squeaky room. But some players starting to throw some stuff over at B. That was actually a CT smoke.
Maybe they can work around that.
Yeah, that was a weird one for sure. Still a lot of time, 40 seconds. Next holding the lockers, close angle with the P90 will peek out, want some information. Still spotting nobody. The bomb to be dropped as they look to make their entrance. Beautiful flash, great teamwork from Next. And I'm assuming Dennis or Nico through that. Next finding the triple kill with the P90. Now pulling up the Deagle. He's had some great shots with that. Surviving on 2 HP, able to fall back. Rush taken down. There's Nico, another A defender. And now Dennis. So a flawless round from the 3 men at A.
Yeah. Next, asking for that flash at the correct moment. He's the one conveying the information, right? You can get flashed at any time, but he's the one who hears the footsteps and asks for it at the correct moment. And then getting those 2 kills with that. P90 and then switching over to the box. So Stanislav comes in checking out the right side of A main because his teammates were so flashed they couldn't call it. And he peeks out and gets the 3rd kill. That's really, really nice play from him.
All right, so we're going into round 5 right now. Just 3 flashes and some upgraded pistols. Nafly with that Deagle, so maybe you can get some damage done. Still going to be a tall order. Chris J peeking in aggressively into that B warehouse. Might have spotted Nafly as he shifted over the sunroom. Now we hear some footsteps. Flashes going in. A nice one there that's going to slide and blind Chris J. He can see again, however. Gets one coming through. No, he doesn't get Stan coming through the vent. Stan opens it up with the kill. More flashes going in, delaying the aggression for Conquest. Gabi in the site. Good for 1. Next, spraying down another 2. The bomb's been dropped there in the cross. Naf unable to find anything, so it's Stan, the one who found the first kill on the round.
Stan, who came out of vents, is now in upper B.
Yeah, how did that even happen? Pushed all the way through CT, and almost the entire rotation came through middle vents or even behind through the B warehouse.
So at this point, just wants to try to find a lurk frag. I mean, the longer he waits, the more likely this is to be cleared. I mean, just hard cleared, but at the same time, can't decide to move out at any moment and catch someone on patrol. Conquest won't take their first round. We'll start off 0-5. This was a bad sign for them on Inferno. Had a really rough start to begin with. And I think one of the reasons they were able to take the last map so convincingly Overpass is because they won both pistols. There's Stan. Spotted.
Yeah, he sat still for about 20 seconds. So I was kind of wondering, I was looking over to see if they were talking, maybe using that time that he was alive in this round to just talk about the next, because they will have a bye coming up here going into round 6, so maybe taking some extra time with it.
One thing that was good from Mouse were the flashes into the site. I mean, Conquest got that entry, obviously Stan coming out of the vent, but when they got to the site, they really couldn't get across it. With no smokes for CT and upper, the rotates came out just in time. Gob managed to stay alive, and I think they were full flash the entire time. I mean, I think Gob just asked them to rain flashes on the site to delay.
Yep. Yeah, the counter flashes were really, really good from Mousesports.
Whoa.
Shazam, quick peek through the flames. Doesn't connect with anything. Now we'll drop off the boost.
That was actually a bad molly. Didn't actually go all the way to the end of boost. And maybe it was thrown offhand, but... Whoa, we'll see the head.
Oh, nicely done. Through the box.
Who's that? That's Dennis.
So now next we'll take over that position. He'll be a little bit more careful. Shazam's still waiting for someone to come out of Z. It's not going to happen. They've got the man advantage. They've got a lot of time to work with this. That's going to be Stanislaw pulling off of the B warehouse. He was watching in case they knew where to push. So grouping for A, it looks like.
Off the very little, sample data we have, them versus Dignitas on this map, one thing that was really important from Dignitas, apart from the pistol rounds, was the fact that they were managed to find the opening kill almost every single round.
Yeah.
This round, Conquest do open it up, and when they were able to do that, did have fairly good aggressive executes on the site.
Rush was blind, but not blind enough. You can see again, got a kill. Nico finds 2. So does Rush. 3 versus 2. Man advantage for Conquest. They got to get that bomb down. Fire going all over the site. Fire onto the highway as well to stop progress by Gomb B. Chris J's at the truck. He will flash in. Shazam holding this angle. Chris J might just peek this slow also. And Rush, I think that's Rush holding out. Oh, he's just in the default plant spot still, so Gomb B walking in very quietly. There's a nice shot from Shazam. Realizes the other player's coming for him, and Rush there for the trade and to preserve that op for Shazam. Conquest get their first round here.
Gob almost had a perfect straight transfer on a Rush there after killing Shazam, walking all the way up. Shazam, really good reaction time on Chris J, who will most likely hit that shot and get the kill with a pre-fire if he lines it up properly half the time. But in that situation, once the bomb was down, I think it was very favorable for Conquest in that 2v2. But again, super close round, and it did come down to a 1v1, so Conquest need to win this. Otherwise, it's going to be a really big struggle for the money. And Stanislaw goes down right at the beginning of the round. Not a good sign.
Yeah, I guess Stan was running out of the lower mid to allow Shazam to maybe find the opening kill and at least get the trade, which would be favorable to Conquest on the T side, but it doesn't happen that way. Chris J gets his kill for free. Nico taking quite a bit of damage through that opened squeaky door, and that's an app that is there. We'll probably see him there on almost every round lurking, and even if they're going for the A takes, I'm sure he'll be coming out squeaky.
Shazam getting shot through the box on boost, susceptible to any nade damage. Chris won't be sure that he hit him, but Shazam will surely play a little bit more carefully now.
Nico setting up a quad on the ledge. No, actually, we'll leave now. They've called for the boost to go over the...
Just honestly, just when you see the smokes come out, the flashes come out, you peek up right after, and it's a great way to get a kill, and you can fall off so easily. Yeah,
they're going to wait for that catwalk smoke to bloom, and then, yep, there's the flash going out, and grabs 1. Actually, that was just Rush. He's still able to get daps. Now they know Rush has gone over to the forklift. He finds 1 kill there. Nico moving through the smoke gets Shazam. He won't be allowed out. Napfly shoots him down. Gomb B finds Rush. It's all onto Nap right now, peeking off the left side of the forklift. Gomb B stopping that one. He finds a 2K on the round. And just like that, it's 6-1.
Yeah, super. Smile on the face of Nico. Worked around that smoke really nicely. Got that extra frag and locked down the A side after taking quite a bit of damage in the early round. Conquest now on the back foot, really low on money. Will have to eat this loss pretty much. I mean, are really good at getting plants on ecos. Are also pretty good at winning eco rounds. But Mousesports have a very stable economy, very firm hold. Rush has to buy zone. I don't know if that was a misbuy. It must have been. And drops it to daps. Whoa.
More bullets are more better, maybe, the reasoning there. It's got to be another 2K on this round. Next, coming through the vents, stops Rush, and Shazam also falling. Next grabs 2 frags as well on a pretty clean round, and the Bison, got 64 bullets, but they weren't able to do much, and they don't do much against armor anyways.
Yeah, pretty much rubber bullets versus armor. No. Again, this is that was a money-breaking round. This is the first one we've seen actually. Conquest in Inferno were able to, after winning a round, put 2 together, put 3 together, actually stage a comeback on the T side. Here, they had their money broken. They lost the pistol round, they lost the first rifle round, and then they won a round and had their money broken. So this is going to be that was a 3-for-1 round. That was a very convincing one. On top of that, from Mousesports, wasn't even close.
All right, Chris J getting aggressive, peeking in A main with that op. Dennis also with an op, so Mousesports pulling that double op setup. Chris J going to be at A, kind of sliding in between that and middle, and Dennis is also there. So both ops are just in the A site right now. Watching highway from site is Chris J, and Dennis watching A main, and Chris J finds 1.
Yeah, Chris.
And out in middle next, speaking from the Z connector. Shuts down the hopes of just the pistol round. Will they even find a kill on it? Force at least 1 rebuy. Not looking too likely as Daps, yep. Chris J, 2K for him.
It absolutely was. And now, again, you can't count him out. This is the last map of the series. whoever wins this map goes to the finals. It's the first time that Mousesports have lost a map in the entire tournament, are 5-1 now.
Conquest have angered
and about halfway, yeah.
the Mousesports.
Yeah, I mean, and for good reason. They played out of their minds, and here, Mousesports are halfway to a final of a big tournament for them.
Well, even when Conquest has fallen behind, they've usually been able to step back into the match at least a little bit, keep it competitive, 8-1. I mean, this early, it is looking like a pretty big disparity in rounds, but here we go, a 1-for-1 trade. That will favor Conquest, but here's Dennis, nearly a 2-for-1. But Rush taking him out. Next, however, getting to once again from middle. Next playing that position so great, and Shazam with the op left in a 1 versus 3. He does have the bomb. He's got that going for him. Spots the head, tries to take the shot. 2 men on the white truck here for Mousesports. Not willing to peek Shazam now that they 100% know he's got the op. It's Shazam that's got to make the moves.
This is an absolutely winnable round. Honestly, it's a 1v3, but he has the bomb, and he has the entire site, even though he doesn't know it. Though no one has peeked him yet, so he's just going to have to assume, because that's one of the risks that you'll need to take. An A main flank hasn't occurred just yet, and so yeah, ultimately he will be able to get the bomb down.
And for good measure, checks most of that quad position. Still looking to get that kill and make it at least a 1 versus 2 to get the bomb down. He'll have to go for the fake plant if anyone's going to push him, and that's exactly what happens. Chris J jumps out, takes the shot.
Ooh, what an angle.
But there's Nex with the triple. Once again, Nex at middle has been a thorn in Conquest's side, just always shutting them down. Even if Conquest gets a favorable trade, Nex shows up and says, nah.
Yeah, and in a fight to not putter to a halt here, Dabs calls it pause. I assume it will be tactical. If we look at Mousesports' money, I mean, we got over 10K apiece on every single player except for Dennis, who has 5. And on top of that, I think there are 2 ops on the board. Conquest, actually, after that rifle run, or again, are in this 2-for-1. I mean, they're down to 4 losses in a row after a win. It's just the worst place to be in economically. And there's no one to blame but themselves. They really haven't been able to shut it down. I mean, in the A site, the closest they brought it to was a 1v1, which they won. That was the closest time they were able to win a round. That was the only time they won a round. Every other round has been very convincing for Mouse. I mean, you got to give it up to them. They just have such control of the CT side, and it's hard to say what Conquest can do better. The thing is that opening up rounds is key, but when they broke out mid, they got that entry, and then we had the counter boost from Gob to even up immediately, and he managed to stay alive. So they brought it to 4v4 and they stayed alive, and it seems like Mousesports are comfortable not playing mid specifically even to hold it.
Well, the crowd not quite giving up yet. You hear the I believe chants.
Why should they?
Exactly. They got to help out their team. They got to be the 6th man. I guess they got to coach them. Maybe the 7th man at that point, but
Done the rules.
All right, next, once again, out in middle, will smoke lower and Molotov up top. Nicely done. You're going to dissuade that boost, which not actually even coming out here for Conquest. They've just got the pistols. They got some armor, so that helps them a little bit. Chris J with the op and headshot, and Gob B. Oh, Will actually fought a Daps, who's just flying out of the vents. Chris J in sight now gets one, is very blind, but so was his attacker, so Chris J lives to fight another day. Next, jumping up upper, only gets 1 frag. Stan brings him down, and Nafly now, the B site open for business. Stan going to get that bomb down, and it's going to be the retake. Dennis and Nico on that. This would be quite a round for Conquest to win. They didn't have that much money put into it. Didn't really have that much to spend. Dennis already set in checkers, and attacking from the CT side will be Nico. Smoke out to the blue tarps. Some flashes in from both sides.
Not sure what that smoke was specifically for. So I guess that
Maybe
makes
some sort of confusion, I suppose.
Heaven a little bit easier to clear. Nico is going to be the man to push up and give that information to Nico.
Oh, Naf hits his first shot. That's Nico down. Now it's all on Dennis right now, taking the headshot ledge approach. Good against the Opera, but Stan's still there with an AK. He finds Dennis. Conquest get their 2nd round on a force buy.
2v4 on the force up, and that's one thing that Conquest have been able to do really well. In the late round situations, in the half buy situations, they have no problem with explosiveness. On Inferno, we saw them on the full buy not being explosive enough, though but on their T sides almost never having a problem. Here in this map, even though it's been 9 rounds for Mouse, it's been a handful of rifle rounds. Conquest, I think, have a lot of hope to hold on to. And, can now try to secure 2 in a row, which is honestly their most important issue.
Oh,
However they make it happen. No boost and a full A that they were going up against. That could have been a crucial boost.
Yeah, that would have been massive. Still, the incendiary making life difficult for Conquest. They get the smoke down to block off the quad angle. Rush pushing through. They have not decided to smoke truck, and that's, I think, where next strikes from. It is indeed Shazam striking back, though, and nearly connecting with the no-scope. Daps is going to find the frag, but it's 2 versus 3. Mousesports with the man advantage. Bomb not even down yet. Bomb actually just reverting and going back out to the mid room. Chris J is actually pushing up a little bit with his op. The bomb has been thrown down. There's time to work with. Conquest going to try to even up the numbers here before they worry about taking that bomb into a site.
Really interesting. Chris is absolutely hearing Stan here. And oh, does he do some damage? No, misses the shot. Allows down through, and now they have to find him again. I mean, he's done making noise. Daps is over in mid, and I wonder what the plan is. You know, the communication in these situations is what separates tiers and teams.
Oh, Daps will go down. He loses that battle, and Stan gets shot as he's running away. God B getting that kill. Mousesports into the double digits already, and still a few more rounds to go in the first half.
You see Nico making these plays, and you get so worried because, or for the other team, because you see him flash through smoke, and you realize like, he's going to be able to find something, find a kill, probably get the safety, probably find a second kill. And so maybe A site is much harder for them to take. Conquest have a round at B, and I think the other round was at A in a 1v1 where they got the bomb down. But again, late round situations have been haunting them. I think it's just Conquest that need to bring it, or try to bring it to these late round situations.
Oh, Nex actually gets that frag through the smoke here at middle. On to Rush. Nafly also taking damage. The crisscross smokes came out, and instead of going into the vents, Conquest will actually just push through them. They're trying to set up on both sides of A. Daps has gone very far up highway with his Tech 9. We'll find a player caught out with the nade, and he gets them both. Massive entries for Daps, giving Conquest a chance here. 3 versus 3, now 2 on 2, as Naf and Nico both fall for their respective teams. Both CTs making the rotation up the right truck side. Stanislaw at the fork, but Chris J with that op. Hitting him very, very quickly. It's all on Shazam now behind quad. Can he try to isolate the 1v1s? It's going to be difficult. He's on 23 HP, pretty much one shot, and he will go down. He gets Chris J, but he can't transfer in time. Gob B wins the very, very brief 1v1. Mousesports now up to 11 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, almost going all in on that round, just investing a lot of money and then bringing it to a super late round. I'm sure Stanislaw is kicking himself right now for trying to rotate out to A main that late in the situation. If he had gotten out there right away, no one would have come around truck, but to do it at that moment, I think was maybe a little bit of a lapse of judgment considering where he expected the rotations to come from. But either way, Conquest only 2 rounds right now. Mousesports, strong lead. 11 rounds, by far met their quota. I think like anything above 8, they're going to feel pretty good about, especially barring a pistol.
Well, 11-2 on a map with a pretty even score line. We'll see how it goes in the next half. Conquest still trying here. Bit of a forced up Shazam with that AK. He was massive with it on overpass. Chris J though going to bring down Stanislaw. And still fighting. Gabi will push through as that smoke goes. Shazam setting up the blue tarps. Might have spotted Gabi. Somehow gets Chris J as well.
Back.
Massive for Shazam. 2 versus 2 right now. The bomb to be planted. Dennis is down, so it's all on Nico right now. Shazam with the 3K. Keeping the hopes alive for Conquest. Trying to keep Mousesports off of 12 rounds. Will Nico crush their spirits? Pop flash goes out. Nico probably was hurt walking on wood, so that means he's upper. He's worked out onto this little catwalk, now dropping off. He wants to clear out checkers, checks back first. Shazam, I don't think they know he's there quite yet. That'll be smoked off. Nico pushing forward, trying to get that 1v1 on the site, but Rush wins it anyway, and if he didn't, Shazam had pushed around to the other. The checker entrance to be would have had him shot in the back.
They did a great job just not giving him any openings for that kill. I mean, Rush, obviously, at some point you do have to spot for information. You can't just sit there on the site and not peek at all. Obviously, if Nico could have reacted in time to get that first kill, it would have been a whole different round. But I think the person to highlight the most of was Shazam turning that first entry into 2 more. I mean, a couple of them through the smoke too, both headshots. That was really, really crucial and important. And I think now Conquest with this 3rd round have a little bit more hope. An 11-4.5 is pretty much a disaster, but not exactly a tragedy. I don't even know what's worse, a disaster or a tragedy. I'm gonna go with tragedy. Oh, could have been an important kill, but he knows he's done good damage.
So 5 versus 5. We saw Shazam up on the boost. He had opened up a previous round, taking Dennis down through the headshot box, but no one peeking him this time, realizing Shazam is kind of the key to opening up these rounds, at least in middle. 4 people in A main. Looks like Rush is going in last, and it's going to be Daps that's gone over to the squeaky door, but Nico didn't even take a lot of damage. Gets the frag on to stand and is now in that smoke. Bit of a gap, finds 2 and finds a third. Actually, it's next that grabs that one. Nico moving around the forklift with a secondary. Another 2, closing it out with a 4K here in the first half. There you go, add 1 to that, nicely done, 4K. And at the 12-3 half, Mousesports got to be feeling really good right now.
Extremely good kill. I mean, if Conquest were able to get this pistol round, let's say it ends up 12-6, when you look at that scoreline, you know, just as a viewer, how does that feel? It doesn't feel that bad, depending on how the first rifle round goes, especially. But that's what's so powerful about a pistol round in the first place. The thing is for Mouse is that they're going to be confident on either side on this map in particular, and I think that their T side won't be a problem for them. It's going to be up to Conquest to have some really huge individual efforts, just like we saw from Nico on the A site, just like we saw from Nex on the pistol round, for example. I mean, those are huge individual performances that tally up to rounds in themselves.
So 12-3, obviously not the half the Conquest are looking for, but maybe something, a positive note is Conquest going into the second half will have to rely on getting that pistol round. That's going to be very important if they want to have a chance here. And Conquest throughout this tournament have been very, very good on their pistol rounds. So they got that going for them, but there's a lot of pressure on this one.
I feel like Mouse is the only other team that has been really good at securing the pistol rounds and has made it go back and forth for Conquest. If we look at Next, wow, he actually got 23 kills in that half, unbelievable.
And 6 assists.
It felt like
160 ADR.
Oh my, S plus.
We got to make up a new letter for that for a grade for 160 ADR. That's just absolutely insane. Considering the highest is only 66.
I can't remember the last time I seen that in a half. Like every time you see 130, it's pretty amazing. 160.
We had in the first map, Guardian played here at the CEVO MLG Season 8 LAN. He was at 125 in one half. That was, I think, the highest I saw here.
I think I squeezed the bicep of Nex before the match started.
Is that what it?
Maybe I moved like a capillary around or something like that. Just aligned his mouse arm. Got the blood flowing.
Yeah, that's what it was. Some ancient pressure point.
Yeah.
There. got his mouse arm going a little bit better. Loosens it up. So, I don't know. In Conquest, a lot on this pistol. Rush, he had that Glock ace on overpass.
Yeah.
If you can do something like that again, it would be pretty crazy.
Hey,
but
Rush, can you
just Glock ace real quick? We're going to really need it. But don't forget, Rush has a pistol ace this tournament. So does Nico. Nico's got a pistol ace this tournament as well.
Nico's was beast as well. I feel like they were all, it was like 10 headshots in total.
Yes.
It was, that was nice. They both got like, I think they both got all headshot aces. I might be wrong. Rush's may not have been. Nico definitely was.
Well, at least with the Glock, you've got enough bullets that you can shoot everyone in the body like 10 times.
Yeah.
But with the USP, definitely, it was all headshots for Nico. He has been absolutely on point. Next, though, of course, is the man on fire this match. 160 ADR. Insane for a LAN performance.
We got that Conquest chant. They're spelling it out.
Remember, there's always a U after a Q, so don't mess it up. Wow, we got 3 Kevlars here for Conquest. Kid on Shazam and a few. There's a HE and a smoke. There's Stan starting it off strong with 1 headshot, and he will find Chris J. There's Dennis strafing in. Daps in the sight, defending and hitting a nice headshot onto Nex. 4 versus 2. Daps another one. Gob moving up the headshot ledge and can do nothing with it. Dennis approaching and falling. Conquest to get the pistol. They got people on their feet on the Conquest side.
And I'm telling you, it's not over till it's over. Conquest stealing out that pistol round could mean a whole lot, though. They will have to, fortify their defenses in the face of what looks like it's going to be a force buy here. You know, Mousesports aren't necessarily going to buy every round, and it looks like no, they're actually just investing in some upgraded pistols. Gob's the only one with armor, and I think Mousesports want to remind themselves that they have such a great lead. They've only got to steal up 4 more.
Yeah, we've seen it do this a few times as well. Like, you just buy upgraded pistols again, and they feel pretty confident. We've seen them even get the plant down, then have rifles in the third if they've wanted it.
Yeah, I mean, you can win any round.
That is true. You can also lose any round.
Wow, that's very deep. 14, and that was deep.
Yep. Nice. All right, Dennis, very, very close. Dangerous position. Shazam with that scout getting a run up on, but Nap's there to help him out. And Shazam very fortunate to be alive, I think. Here's Nico with that deagle. He takes down Rush. He's low on 15 HP, trying to do some quick peeks, find a headshot. That bomb has been planted. The retake coming in. Shazam landing the scout shot. Man stuck in default, and Nico hoping someone goes on that upper catwalk at A. Oh, tagging that player up. That was Daps, now flashing red. Oh my gosh, he's tagged 3 people just like that. He even got the headshot onto Stanislav. Nico, honestly, he almost won that. He hit all 4 of those players in the 1 versus 4.
He let everyone know.
He let everybody know.
Nico was actually 1v5 with a Deagle from that spot like a month ago. Oh, the Conquest chat is strong. And yeah, I mean, that was a pretty costly round. Mousesports were able to get the bomb down, no armor, are going to be doing pretty much the same thing again, just trying to build up that economy and break the economy of Conquest. And it really is going to be an economic game for Conquest. Every player that they lose is so much more crucial when you're at a round deficit than when you have a lead.
All right, so we saw this similar buy after a plant in the second round from Mousesports when they didn't invest heavily in that second round. They just go for the pistol armor that'll allow them to have rifles in the next round and still gives them a chance on this one.
The Conquest actually don't play checker quite often. We have 2 players roughly in the site by the smoke, and I think next through a B main smoke. It's baiting out utility like that through a flash in, but a couple players towards A.
Oh
wow,
my
Nico
gosh,
on the corner
Nico.
of that smoke.
Continuing the Deagle domination here on the A site. Napfly truck is now the only A defender, so the bomb going to go down again. So much money coming in from Mousesports. Conquest. It won't be the most difficult retake here. Well, of course, depending on what Nico gets done, because he's still alive. Gombi with the UMP. Now Nico's taken down. There's no more danger. Bomb easily defused. Conquest up to 6.
And again,
still a lot of work to do, though, to make this comeback.
Every kill's so important. The fact that we're able to keep 4 alive on that retake, especially considering they have weapons that they want to have in the next round. I mean, saving those buys is hugely important. And a couple of nice shots hit there versus that armor up. Now, Mousesports. 12-6 is that scoreline we're talking about. Here's the first rifle. They win this one. It's a 2-fer. Chris J's got that up. He was such a beast with it in the first half. Fully that carry that Oprah. Will Shazam CT side opping. Best him.
All right, well, Shazam's heading over to A. Chris J right now into A main. No one there even to boost him. And Napfly's gone into the vents for the Conquest defense, so he can help out with middle and help out with B.
Back.
It's awkwardly looking at each other. Both players maybe not too sure that they spotted one another, if they even did. So everyone survives there. Nico's opened the door, so Rush knows that something is going on at A, and that's going to be Shazam holding op, holding fence with the op.
Dennis wasn't actually waiting for that Molotov. Interesting. I mean, like, there was no B main smoke. Dennis could have just posted up and tried to catch him going into checker. It would have still been a hard shot, but he could have definitely done damage. I mean, they knew he was most likely going to be in vent, so if they didn't share that communication, that's a little bit of a mistake on the part of Mouse, who are going to be taking mid-late, it looks like, an anchor and sunroom maybe, so that they have a site to go to.
Molotov to the sandbags and another one there in the vent, so Mousesports being very careful not to get caught off guard, just checking these spots with the Molotovs so they can keep their guns, looking at highway, looking at middle, and Gombi having gone through the vents right now.
Will the bomb be
Dennis
spotted?
Is still in sunroom, so it's got to be going over to B with the bomb, I would expect. Nax finds the opening frag on to Stanislav. Daps now left defending. Rotation coming in here from Naf. And they both just get headshot like that from Nex. And Nex now, that was his 26th frag. Rush coming through the vents. Can't best Dennis. And Shazam with the op.
Next in absolute god mode. I wonder if they saw the name tag of Nico, if they knew that it was going to be the other side to be taken as he came out of Squeaky, but maybe they didn't identify that, and I wonder if that cost them the round, though. I think the main point of interest there is that Molotov that flushed Daps out of his spot, out of his comfort zone, and Next getting that 3K. That was just beast mode. What is he, almost at 30? Yeah, it's a 26, so his first kills of the half, and at a very crucial time, saving Mousesports from losing a 1-for-2.
Yeah, losing that round would have put him onto another save, or at least a force buy into a rifle. Shazam still trying to keep the op, and he does. Hits the shot onto Next. Shazam doing very nice for himself. Dennis and Next fall to him. So they have the op as a chance in this round, and they actually have enough to buy against. Stanislav and Rush are a little poor in like 3,700.
Yeah, definitely critical.
But Naf gets a full buy-in, and so does Shazam having saved.
Yeah, I mean, if they didn't have that op, it might have been a different round. They might have decided to save and just decided to play from 14 instead. are going to be sort of all-inning here, somehow able to afford quite a bit of utility. I think it's because they did such a great job on the ecos after the
look
pistol
at
round.
this B push.
Oh, great push.
Conquest getting aggressive, maybe going back. This could be a sign of them returning to that no fear style, getting very, very aggressive on an important round like that, finding the opening frag. Now they've got the man advantage, and now they can just go sit in sights. But they will they actually have to reset and get back into A.
I mean, they've got nothing to lose here. They are already at a huge deficit. They are not favorites. You know, they really should just be playing their game, and I hope that they will. Mousesports to take mid control.
Yeah, Chris J with that op, working up from highway. Could be pretty dangerous. No one is at Z. I think that's Naf making his way back into it. Yeah, it is. Naf gets the kill onto comp B. So now they know he's there. Chris J's got to worry about that a little bit more. Stanislav going through the smoke and around the side of Nico. Nico's got into quad. I don't know if they've quite noticed it. Stan is aware someone passed by, and there he goes. Gets the FAMAS kill. Not super cleanly, but, you know, such are FAMAS kills a lot of the time. That one's a lot better. He gets Chris J with the headshot. Now it's all Nex. He'll have to ace for this if he wants it. Get in that first headshot onto Naf. Bomb way down there on open water. Nex going to have to go pretty far out. I don't think he'll have enough to, he doesn't even have enough to get out there. Thought if he did, he wouldn't be able to get back, but Rush says, nope, you're dying right now.
Yeah, I mean, you can catch someone pressing W, trying to get the bomb, and that's what the idea was there from Conquest while they were peeking. And ultimately, they could decide to double peek in this situation. They have triangulated Nex's position and really can ensure a trade frag, barring the most amazing kills. And Nex, you know, was the man to be afraid of, was looking for 30 in that round. But couldn't do it. Mouse and Conquest feel like off the back of that, saving that off and allowing the drop for their teammates. They win a round to keep themselves one round away from match point, or I guess two.
Yeah, one round away from making Conquest's life a lot more miserable, though. Always having to go for the buy rounds and the force-ups for the win, unless they want to save it up and try to get rifles out, but that would be a long comeback.
Nico just taking quite a bit of damage there off that Molotov, surprisingly enough. These smokes, quite interesting. I mean, both teams seem to be able to work around them.
Shazam hitting the shot. Rush getting push on both sides. Will fall. Naf gets two from the fence position. Drops the bomb. Dennis able to scoop it up and pick up a gun. Has armor and is planting here in the A site. So it's going to be up to the retake. Shazam taking a lot of damage from the Tech 9 of Chris J. Dennis peeking out. Can't bring down Daps. Chris J too far away. I'll try to cause some more damage. He's got no chance to get back to the site to stop that defuse, though.
Yeah. No need to peek. Daps got the critical kill there. Mousesports do not come away with a round win. And it's 13-8. I mean, it's still manageable so far in this half. I mean, so far in total, it's been very CT-sided. Mousesports did win a rifle round off the back of Nex's insane entries. And at some point, everybody else will have to step up. We've actually got, you know, 8 rounds on Conquest. 16, 14, 10, 10, and 10 is the kill line.
And Conquest on a round like this, they can't afford to miss any shots, because if they start falling to the pistols, if Mousesports were to win a round here in round 22, that would just break up Conquest's money and probably send them, you know, in a tailspin, crashing to the ground. But here it is. Conquest bringing everybody down, have barely taken any damage. It's Nex and Dennis trying with the Tech 9s out in B. Rush going to stop that. Nex does find one, but Rush is there with the double. Actually a quad kill on the round.
Round 22, Nex has 30 kills. 30 and 13 is this man after really having a lackluster performance on Overpass. And I guess it couldn't come at a more critical moment. Now, Conquest within 4 of tying up. They still got a lot of work to do. Mousesports, as the rounds go on, if Conquest continue to play a static style, they figure out what their setup is, Mousesports will be able to exploit them. They've got Gob, he's a genius. He can easily find a way through the defenses of Conquest. And that is only if they get too comfortable. And Stanislav made noise there. Sometimes that can be enough to cancel a boost, but I'm not sure they heard it. And it looks like it will be fruitful.
This is Smoke. Stanislav having to push a smoke to get into A main. And he gets there, but Chris J is already dead. And yeah, Nico's in Squeaky. He wasn't in A main.
He's going to see the bomb.
And Stan fighting, and he brings down Nex. Nex, who was so hot in the first half, getting a bit neutralized here as he slipped over to the T side. And who else is going to step up for Mousesports? Because Nex is almost doubling every single person on this team. Nico's got 17 frags. That's the next closest.
See Stanislav with a flying door close.
Gabi with a, looks like a set smoke to the truck side and a flash as well. Shazam still has eyes on that. Nico going over the box right now. Oh, Shazam will not be caught off guard. Uses that up, has spotted a leg through that smoke. Pulls out that Tech 9, gets flashed, but Dennis flashing himself a little bit. Shazam will live. 3 surviving for Conquest. That's their 10th round. They've also entered the double digits. We've got a real match on our hands here in map 3 now.
Some fantastic trades. Nico, if he was able to get that second kill off of a missed no-scope from Shazam, could have gone on to been able to plant the bomb. I mean, there's just so many options at that point. So,
I mean, that kill going either way decides the round for each team pretty much. Nico gets it, Mousesports wins, Shazam hits it, they won.
Yeah, it definitely looks like that, like a favorable after plan and just a round win. Molly down on boost. Mousesports on a save. Conquest money looking pretty good. I think Shazam has quite a bit more money than his teammates, but I guess are still in danger of saving.
Yeah, they could sustain one loss here and get back to mostly rifles with some limited utility. But also a chance in this round to definitely get to that position. It's just the Tech 9 armor, so Conquest
playing retake on A.
Keep some people up. Shazam hitting shots. It's like Naf. Yeah, they're playing retake on A as you just said.
The bomb is still in A main though. This is not good. They could plant right now if they didn't have the bomb.
Shazam gets pushed, and he had 2 allies behind him, but they moved over to go Z and get to highway. And Naf now in a very dangerous position, getting peeked on both sides of the highway rush, trying to bring it back in order. Because it's 3-on-3, and look at the bomb, it's sliding all the way back to B. Rush isn't going to hear the footstep. He actually finds the bomb. That's a massive kill onto Nico. Chris J continuing to fight on the white truck, but it may not matter. Can he get both these kills? He's really trying now. Stanislav fights fire with fire, pulls out his pistol. Within 2 rounds right now, and Mousesports, where's the money at? They will have a full rifle coming in.
Oh, the chant gets louder.
The crowd is getting back into it in a big way.
I mean, we saw this 11-4 half, and we saw a pistol, and then we saw a couple of very close rifle rounds as well as close force-ups on the part of Mouse. Almost like really exploiting mid and doing a good job doing that, and almost turned that into a round. But I think they because they left the bomb in A main, they weren't able to get a plant first of all.
Yeah.
I mean, like who knows where you even go from there.
Whoa! Taps.
Oh,
peeking into a tower of terrorists, so he's got almost no chance on that one. A nade in response does a bit of damage to Dennis.
So 1.6.
Yeah, it was. I do miss just the random 3-man boost when you turn a corner. That was the life. But Mousesports have got the man advantage with a ton of time to try to get Conquest to move about, be unsure of themselves.
Again, Conquest forfeiting all of mid. Mousesports happy to take it slowly. I mean, not afraid to go out, though. Oh, Stanislav's here in vents, actually.
Going to be a big position. There's the Molotov, though, and he pushes out into middle. He's full blind and is still standing in the fire, so Nico gets it.
Fantastic job of neutralizing him there.
Yeah, nicely done. Without that Molotov, the round could have got dicey for Mousesports. Instead, they're staying cool, calm, and collected, working on their B attack. Rush in the site. He's the man to watch right now, and he gets nothing done. Gabi with the entry. Next takes out Shazam from upper. It's Naf in a 1 versus 4, so that's the bomb. Nafa's got a lot of work ahead of him, and if Chris J hits this shot, it will be the team ace for Mousesports. Nafa freshly smoked off in upper. Goes for the op, and he's just going to save it.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a good idea.
Or can he? He's taking quite a bit of damage. He's trying to go for some spam spots.
You know, Mousesports don't want him to live, but at the same time, it's going to be a very costly round. If they do lose any men, Naf getting this off, it could be very important. It seems like Conquest will be able to buy next round, but Mousesports had a very, very nice round there. That counter boost, just total call out, great positional play. They had that head stack to deal with the push. I mean, that's definitely the best way to trade. You can be standing side to side, but if someone clears their angle carefully enough, they get the first one, and then they can get the second one 2-on-1s. In that situation, there's no way to do it. And yeah, now Mousesports 1 away from match point, 3rd map of the series. Couldn't get more intense than this.
All right. So 3 rounds separating them. Another rifle coming out here in round 26. 4 AKs and an op. Chris J, of course, with that op, goes out to the lower mid. Will be smoked off. Takes a shot through it, hoping for something. Dennis, not in the. Oh, nice. They've hit the boost this time over at A. So Conquest pulling out positions that have done good things for teams at CEVO lands.
Absolutely.
And it's NAF who's gone up there.
This allows you to only have to play one at A if you really wanted to. I mean, you know, if people play retake on A all the time, and especially with Molotovs, it makes it very possible, especially if you have a full buy. And now Nico going to look to molly the vents. We got a player in Sunroom. Again, not actually spotting the vent dropout. Doesn't want to peek and I suppose get it out. Dennis has played this position many times. Instead is just waiting. And whoa, Chris finds the first kill on Shazam. That's huge. 5v4. And again, mid control is conceded, relying on site holds.
Yeah, when mid control goes down, the spot NAF fly in, I think loses some of its power, but he still has rush over by Toxic to cover that, and Daps is still in middle, so no one's gone all the way up yet.
Yeah.
And may not even. The bomb now getting into A main, and Gobby doing a great job. A one-man fake over onto the B site right now. Molotovs everywhere, and he may even yet find a kill.
And that's why NAF's position is so important at this moment.
They get smoked, and they will check it. It's next to check it. He's not going to be denied that frag. Gobby even getting both kills at B. Takes down Stan and Daps. Look at Rush, though. Backstep position, finds one. Dennis is there. Mousesports on match point. 15-11.
Fantastic play for them. Mousesports just really earning these last couple of rounds, exploiting the weaknesses, using their brain, being very analytical about the way they approach Conquest's defense. And again, it was Conquest that had to work against the Tides here to try to put together a victory. Taking mid late, I think, is what Conquest are really susceptible to. I mean, they barely play it. They just have Zam hanging on Z, and because no one ever smokes him off, there's no reason for him to leave. But then if they find the right time to post up on him from boost, he's always very exploitable. And now we actually have just a complete force-up from Conquest. Not looking good.
Yeah, and the UMP actually on NAF, we've seen Sanazal using it so many times, but he's going to rely on that very, very powerful Deagle. 2 CZs, 1 on Rush, 1 on Daps. He's Shazam the Opper if he can do some great things with that pistol. NAF getting Molotovs out of that push position and spammed even a little bit through the smoke, so he's down really, really low. This is for all the marbles right now. Who will go in to the finals to face Virtus Pro? Dennis up on boost. There's actually 2 in sandbags. Really expect it. Next helping him out. One's cross to the headshot.
All over mid at the moment. Really fighting for it. And this late mid control is no longer going to work. I mean, this mid setup actually makes a lot of sense. Now Rush is actually pushing it now that they've conceded, and it has a big flank on his hands. As well as 3 players rotating overwards. Hey, the reads are here.
If Shazam starts to slow them down, Rush is in such a strong position. But no, they just turn around and watch it. They bring down Rush, and with it, maybe the hopes of the round. 5 versus 2 right now. Stan gets 1, but it's Mousesports. Gobby moving in. 2 kills, closing it out. 16-11 on Cash. Mousesports. They didn't have the performance they wanted at the last CEVO LAN, but right here, winning all their series, only dropping 1 map, and now into the finals, the best of 5 versus Virtus Pro.
Next, 34 kills in regulation. Conquest, the only team to take a map off Mouse and make the whole series very close. I mean, they played fantastic. We got to give it up for both teams.
Definitely.
And I mean, it's only fitting that either one of these teams be in the finals.
And next, who had that 160 ADR at the half, ends up dropping down to 137. Dropping down to 137. What a ridiculous stat that is for Nex. He was getting dealt with a little bit when Conquest was making their comeback, and Nex had to go over to the terrorist side, but still coming up huge.
Let's give it up for both these teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wonder who the crowd will go for in the finals, right? The Conquest was the hope of the NA. Mousesports is the team that beat them. Does the home advantage go to Mousesports? We'll find out pretty soon. And of course, Mousesports, just playing the semi, will have to have a little bit of a break going into the finals. I wonder how much. Hopefully they'll have enough to reset. They're the more experienced team, so they should be used to these tournaments, these long days, resetting and going into a big match of best of 5. VP's been resting. They've been able to watch this, so it should be something.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think I don't have a prediction for the third map. I'm sure our analysts do, but I think it's going to be a very, very tight series.
And Conquest doing so well at this tournament. They get the 3rd, 4th place spot with Titan, right?
Yeah.
So Titan is a pretty big name.
I mean, they were the main pick for last at the entire event.
Exactly.
I mean, all the teams were just a little bit better in terms of on paper, and I think they've had a fantastic showing.
All right, so that's it from us. We're going to throw it down to the desk, so Scoots, take it away.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. One thing I do want to point out, obviously, congratulations to Mousesports. They
Yeah, no doubt.
obviously did their job on the end. But there was a technical issue during the first pistol,
Yeah.
right? Mousesports computer crashes, monitor goes off. Conquest wins that round. There's a long delay. There's a big debate within CEVO. The rules are, for lack of a better word, a little vague. They said I could talk about this. So they're a little vague. They're more written for online play. So there's stuff like if a player disconnects, this happens.
Yeah.
Because again, at home, you can unplug your internet, say all these things. So they kind of lean towards you don't get any help if your stuff crashes at home because we don't control it. So as we're kind of trying to address that situation here, that wasn't a player necessarily disconnecting himself.
No.
And there's also instances in the past where players have intentionally done things to their PCs on LAN to kind of do a reset,
Absolutely.
right? CPL that you had this crazy rule that they'd restart before 4 rounds, so players would screw with it, right? So while they're debating this, these guys at Conquest decide, you know what? Let's replay it.
Yeah.
And that's
that was what I was
because
going to
they're
say.
well within their rights to not say a word and let
Yeah.
CEVO make a decision. But again, and I think at the end of the day, you then look at how that second side started, or the second pistol round for them. They lose it, and they get rocked the first half. So again, good sportsmanship. Again, end of the day, they lose.
Great
but I think that's
sportsmanship, and you know, that was the point I was going to make. That would have been the easiest thing in the world to maybe even try and pressure admins. You know, you're the hometown crowd, right? You know, and everyone's on your side. They didn't do that. They sat back. They let and waited to see what the admins were going to do. And then when they realized that the admins were kind of in a bit of a bind because their rules were a little bit vague, and obviously that's a learning curve for CEVO. You know, and they need to get something a bit clearer put in place. They basically said, you know what, let's replay it, and ultimately that's what cost them.
Yeah, and again, we certainly don't know if you might win that pistol, but it still might get rocked. But again,
true.
Nice sportsmanship call by them.
Obviously, they could have won the pistol as well, and then it would have been a moot point anyway.
Yeah.
But when you get kind of crushed on that side, you're always going to think back, oh, what might have happened if we'd have been in the same situation and we'd won it? Because obviously it was a 2v2 with a bomb down. That's not a terrible situation. It's obviously also not certain you'd have won it if God B had been able to move around. So you can't worry about it too much.
Yeah. But again, I just thought it was a nice sportsmanship call. This team gets a lot of grief. Shazam gets a lot of grief.
You see at the end, no ill feeling about it. Handshakes all around. The crowd are very appreciative. So, you know, that's a big win for Counter-Strike right there. And I think ultimately, as great as it was to see the Conquest comeback towards the end of it, I still think we've probably got the final now we deserve. No disrespect to Conquest. They've been amazing this tournament. But I think Mousesports just edged it for me.
Yeah, and we've got our box score up here. And again, like you said, it is coming down to more like the teams we would have thought that now a lot of us would have thought Na'Vi, Virtus Pro in the finals. But again, Mousesports beat them, so here you go.
I mean, just look at the top of the scoreboard. Next finished the game with 137 ADR and 34 kills. So, yeah, obviously an incredible performance by him. He had picked it up on the second map, and in the end, Nico kind of joined him a bit as well. So you had 2 stars rolling there. Overall, Mouse was looking good through most of the game. But you have to say about the Conquest guys, they've won a lot of clutch rounds in this tournament. And the sheer number of times they get into those scenarios where usually that's where experience wins out. That's where being a real team that's had more practice and more routine, that's usually what gets you through those scenarios. But it's just something about this specific tournament run where they just almost couldn't lose some of them. So yeah, they were able to get into the game. But when you're climbing uphill from 3 to 12 first half, a team as good as Mousesports, they're getting bomb plants, obviously, so they're going to get some rounds eventually. It's going to be hard to shut them out completely, which you almost would have to do.
Yeah, and I thought overall it's an encouraging performance from Mousesports in a way, because while Conquest wouldn't go to bed, Mousesports traditionally, we know they've had problems closing out games. We know they've had problems getting over the finish line. We know they sometimes haven't even been strong starters. So Mousesports have been looking really good all through this tournament. This was actually a tough test in the end, and it's good that Nex is finally coming alive, because this map here, Cash, could very well come up in the final against Virtus Pro, because let's not forget it's a best of 5.
Yeah, and again, if I'm the owner of Conquest, I'm very happy how well my team did, but now I'm also very nervous, because like you were talking about, like, will this team stay alive? Will these players get poached by other North American organizations that are looking to reorg?
Well,
you know, because again, 4th place,
I think
right?
with Team Liquid crapping out, I mean, if I'm the owner of Team Liquid, I'm having a frank conversation with the star player Hiko about what he wants to do. I'm having a frank conversation with James that probably ends with a bit of Vince McMahon, you're fired!
Yeah,
he's out the door. Yeah. So I think there's going to be changes for Team Liquid, and these guys could be beneficiaries of that. You know, is NAF going to come back? You know, is it going to be the return of the kid? Who even knows how that's going to go?
Plus, I mean, if you are the owner of Conquest, the team not many of us heard of before now, maybe you upgrade. You go from selling popsicles to lemonade as well. You go, okay, maybe I'll keep keep the stand open for a week now. I just did the odd Saturday on the lawn. See what I'm doing there, Scott. Anyway,
Yeah,
so yeah,
absolutely.
we'll see if they can continue as an organisation, because not many people knew them before this. It was kind of just like a last chance saloon for a lot of these players. But when you have a big result like this, a lot bigger than some of the NA results we've seen recently, you can build off that.
Yeah, if he leverages that, he keeps his team together, because again, they play really well together. Now again, obviously, we're talking a lot about Conquest, but Mousesports wins it. They go to the grand finals against Virtus Pro, and we got Gob B standing by, and he's with Matt Sadikist. Take it away, buddy.
Recognize him without the towel.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Here with Gob B, obviously the victor of that semifinal. You'll now play Virtus Pro, best of 5. We'll talk about that in a minute, but let's first look back upon the match. You guys took Inferno from them. That one wasn't quite sure. You guys haven't been playing it as much. Start us off there. Were they a little bit surprising for you guys? I mean, you seemed pretty in control. Economy wasn't too much of an issue, but it was still a tight game, 16-11.
Yeah, it was a tight game. We thought maybe they're gonna pick Cobblestone or Inferno, so we was kind of prepared for that. Yeah, like we spoke before the major, and we said like, okay, guys, let's try to learn Inferno, and I think we're playing fine at the moment. And most of the teams just keep thinking, okay, they're not playing Inferno. Let's pick Inferno because that's not a good map from them. And yeah, and we took advantage of the thinking, and yeah, that's why we won Inferno, I think.
It turned around a little bit though. Overpass, obviously expected to be your guys' map. You guys have had decent success in Europe on it. They beat you guys on. Is there any aspect of sort of being the dark horse? Did you guys get a chance to review some of their play in this tournament before matching up against them? I mean, what went wrong there? Because that started out again with them being pretty in control almost from the get-go.
Yeah, in Overpass we just played bad, I think. We just made horrible decisions. I called bad, I think. And the decisions were bad. We didn't hit our shots. It just felt like maybe some of our players wasn't concentrated, me maybe either. It just felt like another game. And then after this game, we're outside and say like, okay guys, let's start from the bottom and don't let them get cash.
Speaking of cash, started out, you had the Istil in the pistol rounds. Do you want to talk about that a little bit? What happened, just so everyone knows? Because obviously they agreed, good on Conquest part to restart that, good sportsmanship. They did agree to replay that pistol. You guys then won that, but it was a monitor issue or a hardware issue, I think?
I made 2 frags, and the bomb was in front of the CT. We had a good situation, 3-on-2 advantage for us. And then my monitor wasn't working anymore. I just had a black screen. And then they're like, okay, you have to play. They cannot pause in the round, of course. And yeah, and I was running and shooting while I have a black screen. And Next said after the match to me, like, you almost killed him, because I was watching on my teammate's monitor. I'm like, okay, I'm like there, okay, I'm watching. Yeah, big thanks to the guys. And the rules said it's not a replay, so they could have said, okay, we want to play like the rules are. That would be their right. And yeah, big sportmen, and they're really cool guys, and they showed us again.
Yeah, tons of support for them, obviously, in the crowd as well. I'd say they're the surprise of the tournament. They theorized a little bit on the desk this morning about Dignitas maybe getting a little bit on tilt. Obviously, Dignitas has played in front of larger crowds last week in Cluj. They've gone to various tournaments in Europe as well. But in this atmosphere, where it is a lower ceiling, smaller room, did that potentially get to you, this Conquest fan club?
Yeah, it was really hard to play against this crowd, because they were supporting them like they wanted to win, like the team want to win. It was really hard to play against it, and I played in front of a lot of crowds, but this crowd was a bit special, I would say.
Interesting stuff. I actually saw you win one round and actually gave it back to them a little bit. So typically you, always being confident. You will move on, like we say, to play Virtus Pro in the best of 5 pretty much right away as well. You guys can get some food into you. Expectations going into that? I know you guys are familiar foes. They obviously made it out of groups at the major, but didn't go much further. You guys had the same problem as before. I won't rub it in too much, but what do you expect in this particular matchup?
I hope that we show our A game, so that's going to be a really tough match. The maps are going to be really cool. They're like maps that we like, so it's going to be really cool, and I hope that we're going to win at the end.
Yeah, it could be interesting. It's definitely been a good tournament for you guys as well. I do think that will go the distance. The map pool for both of you guys is fairly strong. We'll find out how that's going to play out after the break. Don't go anywhere. The finals are coming up.